It is 5:30. We'll call to order.
Mayor Laura,
Present.
Vice Mayor Parsons,
Present.
Commissioner Lindbroker,
Present.
Commissioner Vasquez,
Here.
Commissioner Warren.
Here.
We have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Invocation.
Me again, huh?
Seems to be just you, Ron.
All right. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that you've given us. We can gather, and we appreciate the moisture. We'd like it spread out a little bit more, but it's we just hope that everybody is home safely now. If they've had troubles last night, and ask that you'll be with us as we leave here tonight. It might still be a bit of a challenge to get to our houses, but be with our citizens and be with our staff that had to work extra this week. And we just ask that you give us wisdom to make the decisions we need to make for this city, and watch over and guide us. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Thank you. So moving on to item number 1, reorganization. So first, I think we'll do a presentation. Let's go ahead. I'll head down there. Yes, that's gonna be you. Woohoo! You too, Ron.
She was $5,000 flat fee. Plus she's pretty young. You got the picture? Nobody wants to see my mug.
It's been an event.
Speech time.
You don't need to say anything? You're not gonna say anything?
Chris, we need a speech.
No speech, Chris?
Like 1 minute.
Just thank you.
What?
I'm a person with a few words.
Well, you said you had to do it in January because you had a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
If,
I lost him over that blizzard.
okay. All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for your
Chris.
service. Thank you very much. And it's always admirable when somebody puts their name on the ballot. It's not something that I know that I could ever do, so thank you for having the courage to do that, and for serving the city, and for the voting yes to hire me mainly, but anyway, yeah, my family and I appreciate it.
We have one more gift for you.
We're gonna give you a nameplate, but we're having some issues.
There it is.
You get back when you run in 2 years.
Another.
Yeah. Or run for governor. There you go. Take care, Chris.
Those seem legit.
Okay, now we will say the oath of office to the new commissioners, or to the newly sworn, newly elected commissioners. So if you can all raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
the laws of the City of Liberal,
the laws of the City of Liberal,
and faithfully discharge the duties of City Commissioner,
and faithfully discharge the duties of City Commissioner,
Liberal, Kansas.
Liberal, Kansas.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Please join us.
Welcome aboard. Thank you.
Moving on to item B, election of mayor. We will now open this up to nominations.
I'd like to nominate Jose Lara for mayor.
Second?
Will there be any further nominations? Seeing none, have a motion? A motion. Any further discussion?
No.
You have a second as well.
And we have a second.
There you go.
All in favor? 5-0, motion passes. Moving on to item number C, election of vice mayor.
I'd like to nominate Jeff Parsons for vice mayor.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
So, Mr. Mayor, just, I know you're gonna vote yes, but, I think that this is a great sign for the city of Liberal. If you look at Garden and Dodge, they have continuity. They've had their people in positions for a long time. And not only city manager, but also the commission and the mayor and the vice mayor continue to rotate. And they've seen great success. So I think that we're going in the right direction by doing it this way. So I'm very excited about the next year. So now you can vote 5-0.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All in favor? 5-0, motion passes. Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 2, award proclamations and presentations. Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 3, approval of the agenda.
So I'd like to move that we approve the agenda with one change, that we remove item number 19, executive session. I think just for quick explanation, I think the item we were going to talk about in executive session, we can move it to the agenda for next meeting. It's such a small thing. We'll just do that instead of going to executive session.
And while I completely appreciate the gesture by the city commission, I think my compensation is fair, and I would like to not get in the habit of amending my contract every year, so, I'm very content with what you guys are paying me and the job we're doing, so, if you have gripes about my performance, please call me and tell me otherwise. I think we can eliminate that 10 minutes and get home.
Okay, in that case, item number 3, approval of the agenda as amended.
Second.
Second.
Ellie, make sure you're right that I turn down my pay raise.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? 5-0, motion passes. Item number 4, the minutes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the December 26, 2023 regular meeting.
I'll second.
A motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0, motion passes. Moving on to item number 5, items from citizens. Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 6, items from groups. And seeing none, we'll move on to item number 7, the consent agenda.
I'll make a
I would-
motion that we approve the consent agenda as printed.
I'll second.
Sorry.
Have a motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0, motion passes. Moving on to item number 8, resolution number 2407, set the public hearing for RHID Ortuño edition.
So, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, there's a slight error. We did set it for February 13th, but we set it for 2023. It needs to be 2024. But this is only the hearing. This is, there's no decision point on this, other than holding the hearing on I guess would be the first meeting in February for the Ortuño RHID hearing. So you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the motion would be to set the hearing for February 13th, 2024 in lieu of 2023 in these chambers at 5:30 or as close to immediately possible.
Yes, you're actually making a motion to approve resolution 2407, which just does that. It establishes that public hearing for that date, as Rusty stated. I don't know if the resolution says 2023 or 2024, but you need to make sure you reference that specific date of 2024, February 13th at 5:30.
It does say 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the recommendations, I'm not sure the actual resolution.
Do we have,
Section 3 of the resolution does say 2024.
Okay. There you go.
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution number 2407. Do I have to say all the rest?
That'll be fine.
Second?
I have a motion by Commissioner Vasquez and a second by Vice Mayor Parsons. Any further discussion?
So the Ortuño edition, that's this edition over
Yeah,
here, right?
the one behind Big R.
Right, okay.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. Get confused having to call for a vote, but we're not going that direction now. All in favor? 5-0, motion passes. Moving on to item number 9, purchase of the CivicGov permitting software.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, the building department has been seeking new permitting software to improve the permitting and building contractor licensing and zoning application process. CivicGov presented a good platform. The city is already utilizing Civic Clerk and Civic Rec and other departments from the same company. This purchase will benefit the citizens of Liberal with online portal to apply for permits and self-schedule their own inspections. It will add record software for the fire marshal, which they've never had, and many more improvements over our current system. The purchase of this software was budgeted for out of the building department fund, and I would ask you to approve the purchase of the software from CivicGov in the amount of $48,850 for setup and the first year subscription.
So this is something that we discussed during the budget, both work session and the actual approval of the budget. Transitions the business licenses from the city clerk over to the building department. The rationale is that the building department does the inspections anyway, so it's more efficient and effective for his department to do it than it is for the city clerk to do a bureaucratic action as opposed to just containing everything in his department. And it also allows for a number of online components and efficiencies for those seeking to just renew their business license. So it is a little pricey to start. However, we think it's worth the time and the money.
So how much is the annual license for this?
The second year will be $26,645.44. And then beginning year 3, there's a set like 3% increase. Our current SmartGov, which the company has sold like 4 times, they are charging us a 10% per year increase. So it won't take very many years before our SmartGov subscription catches this.
It also enables us to move toward a common platform. Despite the trouble y'all have with clicking yes on the votes, I mean, it does, the city website plus your software plus this and some others that we're looking at will be on a common platform, which will make things more efficient and easier from the technical support side once we get everyone into the civic atmosphere.
And you've reviewed it already quite a bit.
Yeah, I've had multiple meetings with them. Once we started doing the civic clerk software, we've had SmartGov since 2014, and we've had problems. Every time it's sold, the customer service has gone down. So we've looked for years for another platform to go through. And after we started doing the civic clerk, I was like, their stuff is simple. Like, it's very easy for me to put something on the agenda with you guys. I was amazed. So I asked if they had permitting software, and they did. And we've had multiple meetings with them, and they're gonna work with us to get it set up We're currently paying for 3 modules through SmartGov, which is permitting, mapping, which has never once been utilized, and they won't teach us how to use it now, and zoning. And through CivicGov, they're giving us the fire module, the permitting module, the mapping module, the zoning module, and the licensing module. And so it's a lot more set up to do exactly what we've been doing. And with the mapping, I think we can do some neat stuff. I'm not gonna swear to it, but I'm gonna say, like, if people get their free garage sale permit, the public will be able to log onto the website and hit a link, and it will pop up a map of all the valid garage sales that weekend, and, you know, give people another reason to come in and get their free permit. And I think it'll do some cool things for the citizens. Ronnie will have an easier time getting his permits. He won't have to come in and talk to me.
One thing that's significant is that if you pull up Placer AI or Blue Dot or whatever platform we're using, you'll see that there's 1,000 businesses in Liberal, but Alicia is only issuing about 200 business licenses. So this software will enable them to identify those who are claiming to be a business and help eradicate either the fraud or negligence of a lot of people who are trying to sell stuff out of their house. I know $20 isn't much, but if you add it, multiply it times 900, I mean, that's a significant figure. So we have a lot of home-based businesses that they'll be able to catch with the new software.
Are you saying it's gonna allow you online to schedule inspections?
Yeah, that is
So-
one of the benefits. So you can go on, now there's gonna be a window gap. Some of the contractors will have to get used to not calling and saying, I need an inspection right now. But, yes, so you can get on and already put on the schedule if there's an open spot for tomorrow at 4 PM. You can get on there and say, hey, I want an inspection at this address for this tomorrow at 4 PM, and it will automatically schedule us.
How about if I check it at 9:30 and there's an opening at 10 o'clock, or if I check it at 9:15 and there's an opening at 9:30, will I
I
be able to
think
get
there,
inspected?
no, there's gonna be a set
Okay.
time window of.
Okay,
To
you got a
be
little bit-
honest, we're gonna tell you to plan better.
okay. So plan better.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not that easy, but I was gonna say, this is gonna kind of put him in the spot where they can't use the excuse that he has another one to do and put me off for an hour, but not that he ever has. I'm sure he hasn't, because he usually gets to me pretty fast. So, really fast, I guess, but that means there's not enough work going on in town, is there?
Hopefully it's coming.
Hopefully we get too busy, huh?
Well, I make a motion, we approve the purchase of the CivicGov software for the building department. Do you want a not to exceed amount?
Yes.
49? Not in an amount not to exceed 49,000.
I'll second.
And we want to thank Civic Plus, because they agreed to honor their price from October, November, even though we're not voting on it until January because of the budget year. But we do appreciate their partnership in that.
Have a motion by Vice Mayor Parsons and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0, motion passes.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 10, P and Z Commission Board Member Discussion.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, in June of 2022, Mr. Ernesto Goitia Jr. applied to be a member of the Planning and Zoning Board for the City of Liberal. He was approved to be placed on the board as a member by the Planning and Zoning Board and was appointed by the City Commission in July of '22. The Planning and Zoning Board has held 16 meetings since Mr. Goitia's appointment. Mr. Goitia has attended 7 of those 16 meetings and has been absent from 9 with no notice or reason. The last 5 meetings held were consecutive absences. The bylaws of the board, Section 3 for disqualification, state that after 3 consecutive absences or 3 non-justifiable absences, that the commission will recommend to the mayor for the individual's membership on the board to be vacated. In their last meeting, the PZ board voted to send the matter to you. I have spoken with Mr. Goitia, and he said he still wishes to be a member of the board. He is not here to speak on his own behalf tonight as you weigh the decision to remove him from the board.
And Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, this is not a hobby. I mean, this is an important position. There's a lot of things that get vetted before they get to you. And while I appreciate his willingness to serve, his actual service has been lacking. So I would recommend that we find someone who is willing to show up once a month to take care of this. It's so many of the things that they do and that they vet out makes your job much easier. And if we have someone who's no showing, it's not fair to the citizens, it's not fair to the applicant, it's not fair to you. So we would side with the building department on the removal of him from the body.
Okay. Are you looking for consensus or a motion here?
Be a motion to vacate the previous appointment to that position. Do you guys have somebody else that is interested or not?
At this time, I have not received another application. I am planning on.
Grant, there's not any vacancy right now either. so-
There's not we have a full board of 7 right now. We have a meeting Thursday night. I think we're gonna have a lot of public attend. I'm gonna put it out there to the public that we will have an open seat possibly.
Keith, is his in city or out of city?
This is an in-city.
Okay.
So it has to be.
Makes it a little
somebody who
easier to fill.
resides- Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, I'll make the motion to vacate the seat held by Ernesto Godia Jr.
I second.
A motion by Mayor Lara and a second by Commissioner Landry. Any further discussion? All in favor? I vote. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank
know
you.
If somebody interested, let them know to come get an application.
Okay. Moving on to item number 11, Grant Department 2023 review.
So, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, this is more of just for your situational awareness. The city applied for 12.1 million in grants last year. We were awarded just under 2.4 million with a 1.2 million match. We have discussed the expansion of the grant application process. I think that because the grant director is given additional duties, sometimes we forget that her job is to apply for grants. So we're going to employ the other 29 departments to actually get out there and seek additional funding. And she is always willing to help and to write and to oversee the things that we have. But the 12.1 million is just a little bit too low for a city our size. So we hope to do better in 2024 and to get beyond Kimberly-Clark and Boffman and really dig into a number of the other grant programs that can help us expand our resources. So this is just an informational item for you, just so you know where we are. And I didn't do the percentage this year. Last year, we had 38% success rate, which the mayor and I discussed is entirely too high, because that means that we're not applying for enough. So the goal is to do much better in 2024.
Have we ever partnered with the college? Because I know Charity Hornick does a really good job, and she always sends me leads even for the hospital. She's with the college.
Yeah, so we have not done a great job of reaching out to the other 3 or 4 entities, depending if you want to throw the hospital in, of collaborating, but we're more than open to taking those actions.
I think it would help us all.
Yeah. But, and we can't discount, 2.4 million is a pretty good chunk. So it's not like she's sitting in the office watching cartoons. I mean, public school math, that's 20-something mils of
That's gonna
revenue that is coming in through grants, netting us about half that. And, nobody wants to add that to their tax bill, so we are grateful, but I think we can do a little better.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions from the commission? Moving on to item number 12, resolution number 2408, waiver of the generally accepted accounting principles.
So Mayor and Commissioners, please find in your agenda packets Resolution Number 2408, which requests your consideration to waive GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles as they relate to the City of Liberal for the 2023 audit and financial statement process. We've had several conversations with accountants and consultants, and we feel that moving to KMAG, which stands for Kansas Municipal Audit and Accounting Guide, is in the best interest of the city as we move forward. KMAG streamlines our audit process. It expedites the financial statement preparation. It does eliminate asset and liability reporting. It doesn't mean that we will discontinue doing those types of things in finance. We will continue to monitor assets and liabilities, but we just will not have to report those on financial statements. That process can be pretty cumbersome and a lot of work when we are getting through the audit. So KMAG eliminates that. Financial statement will be basically an extended version of what most people look at in the treasurer's report. So their beginning cash, their receipts, their disbursements, and then their unencumbered ending cash. Just so you're kind of aware, about 90% of Kansas municipalities have moved to KMAG over the last several years, and about 10% have stayed with GAAP. So this is kind of where a lot of municipalities are going. And I personally feel it's going to help move our audit process along pretty quickly and get those financial statements done. And be happy to answer any questions that you might have regarding that.
And just so you know, this is a gross error on my part that we didn't do it last year. Every city I've ever worked in had opted out of GAAP, and I just assumed that we had that we had done it here. And I missed it last January, so it's my fault we didn't do it a year earlier. It's just, it makes so much more sense to do it this way. And it is not nearly as cumbersome as, bless the finance department's heart. They got to account for every quart of oil under the current system, whereas this is much more of you use it, you spend it, you bring it in, you account for it. It's a much simpler process and much less costly when it comes to the annual audit.
Do larger cities also gap out in most cases?
Yeah, so when I worked in Junction City, we gapped out. Of course, the other cities I worked in were cities of the second or third class, but the only other city of the first class that I worked in, we opted out of gap.
Most firms say they only have one or two clients that still utilize GAAP. So.
Okay.
It's akin to using longhand versus a calculator. If we want to get real basic, if you want to get on my level, that's kind of what it is.
Right, I'll make a motion, we approve resolution number 2408.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Vasquez and a second by Commissioner Warren. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 13, designation of the official city depository.
So, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, we've met with Sunflower Bank at least formally once during the year. We're extremely happy with the service they provide, and we see no reason at this time to make any changes. We do. Scarlett's doing a good job of spreading our money across the banks within the city to find the best rates to increase our interest swap, but as far as the primary holding facility, we feel Sunflower has been a great steward of our finances, and we wish to continue using that institution.
During this process, did anybody other the bank solicit you to, okay, or
No.
nobody's really,
Bank of Beaver had mentioned it once or twice, but had never made a formal request or proposal to engage us.
and do we do this annually?
We need to do this annually, yes.
Okay.
We traditionally have not done it annually, but we
Okay,
need to
that's
do it annually.
I couldn't remember if I was absent-minded or.
No.
I don't remember doing this annually, so.
Yeah. So this one and the next
so
one.
We will start doing it annually, okay.
Yeah, so the last one, this one, and the next one are things that we need to do at the first meeting of the year, and we just traditionally have dropped the ball on it. But
So I'll make a motion that we continue to designate Sunflower Bank as our official depository for funds.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Vice Mayor Parsons and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0, motion passes. Moving on to item number 14, designation of the official city newspaper.
So unless you want to change your mind and go back to our city website, we're going to keep the High Plains Leader and Times print and online version is our official newspaper. We have to designate one. Mr. Watt has been very accommodating with posting the things that we need posted online so we can meet our deadlines, so there's no reason that we can't continue the practice. So staff recommends just maintaining the High Plains Leader and Times as our official newspaper.
So I'll make that motion that we keep High Plains Leader and Times, both print and online editions, as a newspaper of record for the city.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Parsons and a second by Commissioner Warren. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0, motion passes. Moving on to item number 15, city staff.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, there we go. Okay, so for the rec center, we are moving along. The golf simulator has recently been opened. We are nearing opening the shooting simulator. We have the employee fitness center that we're finalizing some policies on so that, so we can everything from how we're going to access the building and control access to other parts of the building, depending on when it's open and so on. So we are moving forward, trying to get our programs established within the rec center. And then at the Willow Tree Golf Course, we did implement our new point-of-sale system. Right now, we're going through with Keeley's assistance. We're revamping the Willow Tree Golf Course website so that it'll contain several more options than we've ever had available before, where people will be able to book their online tee times. We're exploring how we can offer some sort of lessons and, what type of events that we want to have with the community, perhaps couples nights, some other type of activities than we've ever had out there to increase play. Then our point of sales have also been implemented for the Mid-America Air Museum and the Convention of Visitors Bureau, the tourism department. So we are moving forward on that. So it should be exciting. Thank you.
I'll just give you a quick update on the snow situation. So the street department guys worked mostly through the night last night, doing what they could do. Worked all day today, they went home at 4, they're gonna start back at 10 o'clock tonight, pick up the windrows and make sure everything's salted for school to start in the morning. So, Those guys have had a long day. And I also want to thank the street department guys, the parks department, water department, building maintenance, and the traffic. They went out and did the Greer House and the library and got all that stuff opened up today. So if you see them, you might throw them a bone. And just, if you guys remember the water project that was started about a year ago or so that we approved, so we've got the final back from KDHE, and it should go out to bid in the next 30 days. And then, hopefully, as soon as it goes out to bid, we start progress on putting new water lines in. That's all.
Just wanted to see if you guys think you need a full, another online training session on the agenda software. Since we do have a new commissioner, I didn't know if you guys would all want to go through the software one more time and get additional training for questions, or would you rather just, we schedule that with Commissioner Landry?
I just need to make Matt do it by himself.
I'm fine to sit in by myself. Yeah.
So
Nobody
everyone
else wants to be tortured, I see.
We've been tortured before.
You have,
Yeah.
Will the software change any from what we're doing now?
It should not change, but I know we do have issues sometimes, with it, so just wanna make sure you guys want to do an online, big, full work session, we can make it quick. It's totally up to you, if not, I'll just get with Commissioner Landry and Tim and I will schedule something.
Works for me.
Okay.
Let me know.
You can invite one more commissioner if you want.
Jose has more time.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to these. Okay, any other city staff? Moving on to item number 16, the city manager report.
All right, so Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, I still need RSVPs for the 17th and 18th of January for Topeka. I have the mayor, and I know the vice mayor is going to make his own arrangements. Ms. Vasquez was still checking her work schedule, but Mr. Warren or Mr. Landry would like to attend the Watkins Public Strategy, setting up meetings for us on the 17th to speak to different legislators. And then, if you've never been before, we have the catered breakfast brought into the Capitol, and we serve the legislators pancakes and sausage on the morning in the 18th. The following week is Local Government Day, which is a kind of a joint city-county, so League of Kansas Municipalities and Kansas Association of Counties group meeting in Topeka. I think so far the mayor is the only one who is committed to go to that. And then on February 5th, there is the Southwest Kansas Chamber of Commerce Night Out in Topeka. So if that's something that if you want to attend any of those, please get with Alicia so she can make the reservations. Next, we have Dallas Ryan out at Arcalen Park now as a full-time employee. Earlier in the last commission's tenure, we had kind of nixed that, but there are some expansions that we think that we can make that can generate revenue and interest in our city and in tourism. So between Keeley, Sally Fuller, and Dallas, we're hoping to make some additions to Arcalen Park this year that generate year-round interest as well as revenue. So he's out there getting started. Thursday, I believe 10 o'clock, and if I said that wrong, I'll text you, but is our initial Zoom meeting with Wichita State and PEC, professional engineer consultants, on the comprehensive plan. So anyone who would like to attend that, just come to City Hall. And any of you, hold on, let me quantify that. Any of the elected officials who want to attend the kickoff meeting, because I don't need 200 people at that meeting, who would like to attend the initial kickoff meeting, Zoom meeting with our consultants, please come and see us. Kudos to Keeley and the mayor on the Pink Building interview with KSN News. I believe that they did a pretty good job. They had one faulty statement in their story. They never asked about the exterior of the building. The story stated that they did, but the building department did not mislead them in any way. They did everything by the book. But anyway, we believe that that's going to get rectified, and you guys will have a decision to make on the 23rd on a much bigger issue than just that one building. But I want to thank Keeley and the mayor and all those who were willing to listen. It's a little disappointing that a negative story gets 200 shares and a positive story gets 10, but the owners of that building were very appreciative of the meeting that they had with the mayor and I, and I think we've got a pretty good solution moving forward with that. And we had a great meeting with Enterprise this week as we discussed our fleet maintenance. As all of you know who've been through the budget session, we've got a lot of 1990 vehicles that are just costing us a fortune, and they've presented a plan that's probably much more fiscally responsible than what we've done in the past, and they will be here on the 17th to meet with Brad and Chris and Scarlett and a few others as we look to modernize and be more efficient with our fleet maintenance. So once again, we're very excited to get the year kicked off. Hopefully the supply chain and weather and every other excuse I used last year for not getting anything done will be subsided this year, and we can have a dynamic 2024.
Okay,
That is it.
thank you. Any questions for the city manager?
Can you just send me the Zoom link? I can participate,
Yes.
but I just do it from my office.
Okay. Item number 17, items from commissioners. I'll go ahead and start it with Ron this time. Give him a break since he's a new guy.
Ron always gets to start.
Yeah.
Mine was gonna be
Fire.
short and sweet anyway.
Just throw him in the fire, yeah.
We gave you a year break,
Yep.
or however long we've been here.
I want to thank Chris again for the 4 years he served, and appreciate his willingness to do that. And at the same time, I want to welcome Matt and look forward to spending the next 2 years with you here and more if you attempt that again. And I guess you'll get to decide after you spend 2 years with us, but we appreciate that. And then I definitely want to thank all the departments, not only the street department, but mostly the street department, I guess, but maybe not, maybe all of but several departments that pitched in and helped. I've been here a long time, we won't talk about how long, but, and you don't see too many events that happen in such a short time as they did last night. A snow event that moves that quickly, and I really appreciate what the people have to do to go out and be in that. I myself, I've been out in weather before, but I will admit that I got home at 2:00 yesterday afternoon, didn't leave the house again. So I didn't get to experience what some other people got to experience, but I definitely appreciate what staff had went through, and I'm sure, I didn't ask Chief, but I imagine that police department had some fun experiences last night also. So all the departments that's work got increased last night by the snow event. We appreciate it, and thank you for what you do. So that's all I have.
And just for the record, the city dismissed at noon, so you can let your boss know, the city has a better boss than you.
I think I remember seeing that text.
Even the chief of police said we had impeccable timing to get out there when we did it.
My turn. Well, man, what a blizzard. I guess the weatherman was right. I feel like we get a lot of warnings, but this one was actually very accurate. I do also want to give a big shout out to the street department. I know there was a lot of other departments that helped out, but I saw them working hard, even prepping the roads from Thursday out. It was like slightly raining, and they were out there in the cold getting everything ready. So a big shout out to them. Also want to thank KDOT. I know KDOT was working very hard all night. They were plowing the roads even when there was zero visibility. And then, of course, I also want to thank all the community members. I think it really speaks volumes on the type of environment and really just culture, family that we have in our community. There were a lot of people stranded, and I know there were a lot of generous farmers and a lot of people with plow trucks who were going out on the highway and risking their own lives to help a lot of families that were stranded. So definitely want to give a big recognition to them. It does not go unnoticed. Also, it's National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. So do want to thank all of our first responders, all of our law enforcement, sheriffs, our police department for serving. You guys are greatly appreciated. And then, of course, I do want to thank Chris for serving. I know I used to give him such a hard time. But do appreciate all of his hard work. He is a very generous, caring individual who has a big heart for our community. And then I also just want to say welcome to Matt. We're excited and looking forward to working with you.
Awesome, thank you.
And just real quick, Brad and I were riding around this morning. He said this was the first time he'd ever seen anything like this. Please don't abandon your car next time. Just stay where you are, because it completely destroyed any opportunity for us to clear streets, especially 8th Street. I mean, we had people triple parked. We couldn't get anything other than a shovel down that street, and it really inhibited or prohibited the traffic flow. So, winning question, stay where you are, and we'll do the best we can to take care of it. But there were a lot of people that had a lot of inconvenience because of some
Yeah.
less than stellar decision-making by the drivers. So,
And I got a lot of messages too about people being stranded, or I feel like when we're in situations like that, our common sense, we kind of lose it a little bit, or I don't know if people just get into panic mode. So even if we could do like an educational campaign about what to do during a blizzard, that would really help out, because I feel like a lot of people were just like in panic mode, really did not know what to do.
Go home at 2:00 and stay.
Well, not all of us have that
I
privilege.
know.
Okay. Matt?
Well, first evening here, first day in office, and I just want to thank the community, of course, for giving me the opportunity to be here and serve. Last night was a pretty wild blizzard. I grew up in Connecticut, and I don't think I've seen anything like that since I've lived in Connecticut. That was a doozy last night. Ripped my fence down and everything. It messed some stuff up my property, but I've got a lot of friends that are farmers right now, and they're out there helping dig out people in the middle of nowhere, which was pretty incredible. We definitely have a really tight community of people here. Rusty and Brad are out there in the middle of the night checking on the roads, and you've got people out there, the city's out there trying to clean up the roads the best they can. It was cold and nasty, so those guys need a lot of, to be commended for the fact that they really worked hard, and they worked hard all day today to clean up a mess, and it was cold and just nasty. So, those guys need probably a nice hot cup of cocoa and, some warm slippers, because they're going to be back at it again tomorrow. So, but thank you to the warm welcome, and I really look forward to working with you guys this, over the next couple of years, and we'll go at it again after that and see what happens too. So, thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you.
Appreciate you stepping out and putting your name out there and being willing to serve. Appreciate that, and same with Chris. Good to get to know him over the last couple of years and work with him. Appreciate his service. I was gonna say something smart about street department waking me up at 3:00 in the morning last night and clearing 15th Street, but, cause that's exactly what happened. They woke me up at 3:00 in the morning, but it just shows their dedication to the citizens of our community and the other departments who pitched into, and it doesn't go unnoticed, and it is appreciated, so thanks. And PD, Sheriff's Department, I saw a patrol car last night I was out about 8:00 coming from the hospital going home, and there was a sheriff car and a PD cruiser, and they were pushing somebody out of the big snow drift on 15th Street, so I know everybody pitches in, something like that. I'd have stopped, but they didn't need an old man having a heart attack at that to add to everything else, so. Appreciate staff. And thank you for what you guys do. That's all I have.
I'll go ahead and start with thanking Chris for his 4 years of service. It is an easy job, but not as simple as many people think. He got to deal with a lot of complaints and a lot of situations, so definitely want to thank him for his time. And welcome, Matt. Hopefully now you'll get those complaints and have to deal with those situations, so you can call Matt on those. Really break him in. And then again, thank you guys for supporting me for mayor for another year. I promise I will not take this position again next year. I will leave that to one of the potentially 3 candidates who will be running for reelection, because that's roughly what we did last year. We believed that the city was beginning to go the right direction, and in the past, commissioners, both on the county and the city, would step down from that role during election years because being in government and anything bad that happens falls on you. So we kind of decided, we're doing well. And I was the only one who was going to run at that time, Ron. So we went, you know what, I will take on that face of the city during the election cycle, because we really do believe we are doing a good job. And I think we're continuing to do that. So next year, I believe one of you 3 will definitely have to decide what direction we're going to go with that. But I'll be excited to support you guys for mayor during that election cycle. And then I want to commend everyone from the city staff that was out there during the storm. Thank you for the police department and the city staff that closed 8th Street and then tried to put it out there, because I don't want to bash on the plants like much of the public has done, but when it comes to it, for the safety of the community, it does fall on us to make sure that those streets to those locations are closed so that people can hopefully stay home or get home. And because that's what I ended up doing. I was out from 12 to 1, did in that process, and basically trying to put people first by closing that street and telling them, you're not going into work, sorry. So thank you all for what you do. Hopefully we have another great 2024, and we'll move on to item number 18, the vouchers.
I'll make a motion that we approve the vouchers in the amount of $907,173.70.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0. We've removed item number 19, so we are adjourned.